Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your early April reading and predictions. We're going to have a look at some of the energies that are currently influencing you right now here at the end of March, and we're going to jump right into what you're focusing on, some of your difficult influences. We're going to look at things that are unexpected, and then we're going to look at general overall outcome. These final cards that I'm going to pull are going to look at where you're projected or predicted to be at with regards to your energies come mid-April. Couple of quick housekeeping things before we dive in. Okay, Pisces, we've got a general reading for you. There are a lot of Pisceans out there. This reading is intended not only for those born under the sign of Pisces, but also those who have a lot of Pisces in their chart. Because there are so many of you, it's going to resonate very deeply with some of you, but not all of you. Just take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. It's intended for someone else. I do want to quickly mention timing. When we do these readings, Pisces, the intention behind the reading is for April 1st through April 15th. However, there are a number of different factors that affect the timing of these readings. One being that we are tapping into the ethereal realm or an unseen realm, where time moves at a different rate than it does here on Earth, and therefore timing can be out ever so slightly. The other thing that can affect timing is that if, for example, the final couple of cards that come out are cards that you look at and you go, oh, hell no, that is not where I am going to be come mid-April or whatever the timing is for it. You have free will. Every single person on this planet has free will. And one of the reasons that we seek out psychics and predictions is so that we can see where we're projected or predicted to be at if we maintain our current trajectory. If we see something we don't like, we can use our free will to begin to change the trajectory of our lives. And in so doing, we automatically change the outcome. All right. So having said that, Pisces, just keep in mind that if you have a really important decision to make coming up, take all of the tidbits of information that you collect up, put them in a pot, stir, add your own heart center and your own free will, and then make your choice. Do not make your decisions based solely upon, for example, things that you hear in a psychic reading on the internet. Some of the information may prove valuable, but it's not the sole place where you're going to make your decision from. All right, let's move into where are the Pisces at now. I'm just going to move the cards so that they are where they need to be. If you are new to the channel, I do work with a number of different oracle decks as well as tarot decks. And as I'm pulling cards, I do leave them face down until I'm actually ready to read them. And this allows for more of the psychic energy or intuitive energy to flow in rather than me looking at the cards and then that influences other ethereal energies that may be coming in. Okay. Pisces, where are you at now? Now, if I remember correctly, Pisces, your last couple of readings have been a little bit difficult, shall we say? Some difficult energies out there for you. We are going through a huge shift, but I am sensing that we're past kind of the worst of it for you. There are going to be some speed bumps continuing to come up. This is just coming up intuitively. There are going to be still a couple of speed bumps. April might still be a little bit bumpy, but I think that once we get past the end of April, there's definitely going to be a lot of positivity, not only for you, Pisces, but for the majority of people on the planet. But there is this rough patch that we're going to go through. Let's have a look at what you're focusing on. Focusing. What is Pisces focusing on? All right, we do have another card that didn't fully fall out, but it stuck out for most of me shuffling there. Let's have a look at your difficult influences, Pisces. We're getting called back over here to the fairies. Yep. All right. Difficult influences for Pisces for April, the first half of April. Whoa, that one went all the way down to the floor. Okay. Again, Pisces, we do have a series of cards that have come out for you. The final one is on the floor. Let me just pick that up. All right. And let's have a look at the next card that I'm going to pull is a card that just makes sense and it will tie things together. Okay, there's more than one card there that came out and more. Okay. All right, let's put these cards in the order in which they came out. Wow, there's a lot of cards here. Let me just flip through them and see if I'm actually meant to be reading all of them. I think I am here, Pisces, because none of them are deciding that they want to really jump out here. All right. All right, and let's have a look at unexpected influences. Unexpected influences, also known as unexpected insights. And that one's on the floor. I'll just bend over and get this card off the floor for you. And let's have a look at the final overall outcome. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is where you're projected to be at come mid-April, which is the intention behind the timing of this video. Oh, there we go. Late bloomers. Okay. Where you are at now, Pisces, you have the Eight of Winter. The Eight of Winter is also known as the Eight of Swords, and it's a card about believing in yourself. It's a card about not allowing those still small voices in your head to take over and tell you that you're not good enough. It is a card of letting you know that imposter syndrome should not be residing in your head. So this is a card of where you're at now. Given the last couple of readings that you've had and the rough road that you've been traveling as you adapt to these new energies, as the celestial alignment made this huge shift. And I'm not going to get into that. That is not my area of expertise. So I'm not going to get into exactly what happened and specifically how it influences us. Just suffice it to say that when big things happen up there in the celestial skies, it does influence a lot of us down here. And for you, Pisces, it influenced you more profoundly than any other sign in the zodiac, which has caused you to doubt yourself and not believe in yourself. And so that's why we've got this Eight of Winter coming up here for where you're at now. Let's have a look at what you're focusing on moving into April 1st through the 15th. Okay, interesting. You have the Eight of Wands coming up. You now have two eights. Now in certain belief systems, I won't say specifically religions, but in certain belief systems around the world, eights are particularly lucky. So lucky you, you've got two of them coming up, two cards in a row. The Eight of Wands is about traveling. This may involve you focusing on physical travel at this time, Pisces. I do believe that for some of you, that is where you're focusing, but this can also involve traveling in our minds in order to be able to create a different world, a world that we want to live in. This can include lucid dreaming if you are into that kind of thing. And that's generally what this card indicates. And it does indicate, being that it's influenced by the element of fire, here represented by the red, it is telling us that action is required. So if your intention is to manifest travel, you need to be taking whatever action and steps are necessary in order to be able to get and achieve what you're putting out there. Now, the second card that you have that you're focusing on is this Two of Pentacles, also known as the Two of Rainbows. This is the moment-to-moment card. There's actually two meanings to this, particularly with it coming up next to the Eight of Wands for you, Pisces. One of the things that this is representing, being next to the Eight of Wands, which is all about taking action towards your travels. Like I said, it could be physical travel or it could be lucid travel if that's what you're into. This card is asking you and telling you that what you are focusing on is taking the steps moment by moment, living in each moment and embracing the full emotion of that moment, but also making sure that you are taking the necessary steps forward at all times and that you're not stalling. Again, Eight of Fire is telling you take action, and the moment-to-moment card is also telling you to continue to take those steps forward. In your difficult influences, oh, are you kidding me? You have the Eight of Pentacles again. You have yet another eight coming up here, Pisces. Very, very fascinating. Okay. In your difficult influences, you have the Five of Pentacles. Whenever we see a five come up in the tarot or oracles or whatever the case may be, it is a question that we're reaching a crossroads where we're questioning the decisions that we've made, and perhaps those decisions aren't quite right for us. And this card is indicating that if you are thinking about possibly a career change or making a lot of changes with regards to your financial situation, now is not a good time. Okay, here we go. Disclaimer, I am not a certified financial advisor. I am not allowed to give you formal financial advice. All I can do is read what's on the card, and the card for the Five of Autumn, also known as the Five of Pentacles, indicates that right now is not a really good timing for career changes. It's up to you what you do with that. Remember, Pisces, what I said at the very beginning. If there's anything that you hear in a psychic reading or a tarot reading that you are not in alignment with, then use your free will and make changes accordingly, according to what's in your heart. All right, you have the Nine of Winter, also known as the Nine of Swords. This card is a card of you, once again, not believing in yourself. It is the card that immediately follows this card that came up for you as where you are at now. And this is a card of you exaggerating fear in your mind. Difficult influences, I'd say those first two are difficult. You have the Magician in your difficult influences. This is interesting because the Magician is normally a card that is filled with joy and magic and the ability to be able to manifest anything you want. But when the Magician is coming out with the Nine of Winter, and you also have the Eight of Winter in your reading here, it's an indication that you're not believing in yourself. And the Magician is all about the law of attraction and being able to manifest what you want. In order to manifest what you want, you have to honestly, truly, and with your whole heart and soul and being, believe in yourself and believe in what it is you're trying to manifest. And if you're in that place, that difficult influence where your thoughts become fearful and become out of control, if you're in that place of feeling like an imposter, then your ability to manifest is stunted, shall we say. Again, you have the Eight of Pentacles here. No, sorry, this is not, you had the Eight of Wands here. You have the Eight of Swords here, and now you have the Eight of Pentacles. So you have three eights coming out in your reading. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I said a minute ago, eights are extremely, extremely lucky in many, many belief systems around the world. So this is actually a good omen. However, what the Eight of Pentacles is representing in your difficult influences, Pisces, is that you do need to do your research before you step forward. This is interesting because you have the Five of Pentacles indicating perhaps a change in financial situation or a change in career is not necessarily recommended at this time. Maybe the timing's a little bit off. And this is a card of do your research before you take steps. Okay. You have the Four of Summer coming up. The Four of Summer, also known as the Four of Cups, is about feeling distracted, not paying attention to what you need to be paying attention to. And it's interesting that that came out next to the Eight of Pentacles here, which is telling you that you need to do more research before you proceed. You also have the Star here. And the Star, again, is normally one of those really, really happy cards, but it's appearing in your difficult influences. And what that's telling me, Pisces, is that with these other cards going on, where you've got this unfounded fear that's blowing up in your mind, you're not believing in yourself with some of these Pentacle cards that are coming up, you're really struggling as a difficult influence to fully embrace the happiness that you are meant to have in your life. Like I said, any changes and shifts that you make, first of all, make sure they're coming from your heart, but as well, they can change the trajectory or the outcome of what is coming up here for you. Really, really interesting here. We have cards that are coming up, both reversed as well as you have cards that are reversed as well as upright here. The first card is the Five of Cups. Interesting. Now you've got the fives coming up. You had the Five of Autumn, also known as the Five of Pentacles, coming up over here. And now you've got the Five of Cups coming up. And the Five of Cups did come up in the reverse, where you're feeling hurt and betrayed. You've got the Nine of Wands coming up here in reversed. You're fighting up against something. You're bumping into things. Before I read the rest of these cards, Pisces, what's coming up for me is that there has been significant change in your life recently. And through all of this change and this turmoil, you are bumping up against change rather than embracing it. There's a part of you or an aspect of you that is just saying, why can't things go back to the way they once were? Sorry, my cat has shed a phenomenal amount this week because she was upset. My son was away for a couple of days. And so there's fur flying through my house, making me tickle. Okay. What I'm picking up, without even reading the rest of the cards, which I can hardly see here the way that they're laid out anyway, what's coming up for me is that you're bumping up against change rather than accepting and acknowledging it. And when we do that, we make our own lives more difficult. That's what's coming up in the cards here. This Five of Cups in reversed. You're feeling hurt or betrayed and angry and discouraged. The Nine of Wands coming up. You're fighting a losing battle. It's time to cut your losses and get out. Six of Swords. The Six of Swords indicates that it is time to put the past behind you. You've got the Star in reverse. Interesting. You have the Star in difficult influences over here, Pisces, and you have the Star reversed coming up. You're experiencing some kind of disappointment. You're not allowing and embracing the happiness that you could and should have in your life. What else you've got the Two of Pentacles in reverse here, where you are juggling too many things at the same time. You do have the King of Cups coming up and the upright position. the King of Cups coming up in the upright amongst all of these other cards coming up in the reversed or more of a negative way is indicating that chances are there's a really positive influence that's going to be coming into your life, an influence who is potentially another Pisces, okay, because the King of Cups does represent Pisces, but also someone who is confident and self-assured and has the capacity to be able to help you work through a lot of this negativity that's coming in so that you have a better guidance system, which brings me to the very last card that's come up here, which is the Hanged Man in reverse. And the Hanged Man is always, and it doesn't matter whether it's this way or whether it's this way, it's about being able to see things from a different perspective. It's about being at a crossroads, and it's about change coming up for you. So I would say that the star basically reversed twice because it was in your difficult influences. So we read it as if it's reversed. And then it actually came up reversed here is important because what that's telling you is that you really need to enjoy life. Okay. Remember I said that one of the things you're focusing on is the moment to moment, and part of living moment to moment is fully embracing everything that's going on around you and living in that place of acceptance. Okay. I do think, Pisces, that with this King of Cups coming up for you, that there is probably somebody coming in for you that is going to help you and support you through this drastic change and shift. I do want to say, I'm not picking up intuitively that the King of Cups coming in is a romantic connection. I'm thinking it's the energy I'm picking up from it is more a mentor, someone who, they say that people come into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And what I'm picking up from this is that in the very near future, most likely in the first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of April, someone is going to come into your life, Pisces, who will be a mentor. I do want to say they're probably going to come into your life for a reason, obviously, and potentially for as long as a season, but they're definitely, it's going to be somewhat fleeting. They're going to come in, help you with this really important lesson that you're currently dealing with. And I would say that one of your life lessons right now that you're currently dealing with is the life lesson of acceptance of change. We're going to move into your unexpected insights. And it's interesting that the unexpected insights and influences is the card of reciprocity. The tobacco card, reciprocity. This card actually has two meanings. It has the meaning of karma. Be careful what you put out there because it's going to come back to you. But more importantly, I think that what this card is indicating for you at this time, Pisces, is that King of Cups, that person is going to come in. They're going to show you how things can be different, and they expect nothing in return. And that's a surprise to you because that's not always how you've lived your life. You've always lived your life where there needed to be, there needed to be some kind of exchange or expectation that if you did something nice for someone else, they were going to come and do something nice for you. And if somebody else was cruel, like someone else would be cruel back. An eye for an eye, that whole karma thing. And I really sense that the unexpected influence that is coming up, or unexpected insight that's coming up for you these first couple of weeks of April, Pisces, is that someone is going to show you that reciprocity isn't always about that specific person. Okay. If you've been putting good out there into the world, that good will come back, but it doesn't necessarily come back specifically from the person that you were good to. Okay. It comes back in different ways. So keep that in mind, Pisces. Your final two cards of the reading, the outcome as to where you're projected to be at come mid-April. You have the broken arrow and you have the fire guardian coming out. The broken arrow is about peace. And I want to say, Pisces, that I'm getting the sense that this broken arrow is about making peace with yourself. You also have the fire guardian, ignite your passions. This is telling me that as you go through this, again, the first couple of weeks of April is going to be a little bit bumpy here for you. Nothing in here is indicating that you're not going to be able to overcome anything here. It's just saying that you're going to have a few bumps in the road. There's no tower moments here. There's no death cards coming out here. And the devil card has not come out. Those three cards, when we see those, we know people are in for okay. I'm being told to say this. Excuse my language. When those three cards come out, we know people are in for holy shit moments in their lives. There, I said it. Okay, I said it. That's not what I'm picking up here from this card reading for you, Pisces. What I am picking up for you is that there are still bumps in the road, and it's because there's lessons for you to learn. Just to really, really quickly recap, one of the lessons you need to learn is let go of your imposter syndrome. Believe in yourself. You have to allow someone in, like the King of Cups, who is going to be a good influence on your life and be able to help you sort through some of this other stuff. You have to get through this star coming up in difficult influences as well as in reversed, wherein you can live in this moment to moment and really truly embrace everything from every moment of life. No, I'm definitely not saying that. Pisces, get out there and grab life and live life. And when you do that, don't be off in your mind over here. Don't be thinking about the bad things over here. Live in the moment. That's going to help you to embrace this fire guardian and really, really ignite your passions. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave off the reading there. Pisces, thank you for joining me again here at the beginning of April 2023. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Check down in the description. If you are enjoying this content, you can leave me a tip using crypto if you feel so inclined. And I look forward to seeing you again come mid-April.